Good morning, students. Let us continue with the lesson India, size and location. In the previous video, we had learnt about the size and location of India. We had also learnt about the time difference of 2 hours between Gujarat and Arunachal Pradesh. Let us continue with the lesson. The Indian landmass has a central location between the East and the West Asia. Have a look over here, students. You will understand. The Indian landmass has a central location between the East Asia and the West Asia. Okay. India is a southward extension of the Asian continent. Have a look over here once again, students. Our country India is the southward extension. Can you see, students? Southward extension of the Asian continent. Is that clear, students? The Trans-Indian Ocean routes, which connect the countries of Europe in the west and the countries of East Asia, provide a strategic central location to India. Students, what provides a strategic central location to India? Yes, it's the Trans-Indian Ocean routes, which connect the countries of Europe in the west and the countries of East Asia. Let us try to understand with the help of the map. Have a look over here, students. The Trans-Indian Ocean routes that connects the countries of Europe in the west and the countries of East Asia provide a strategic central location to India. I hope it is clear. The Deccan Peninsula protrudes into the Indian Ocean. Students, what do you mean by protrudes? Yes, to extend from a surface or a boundary. Have a look over here, students. You can understand here. The peninsula. I had already explained you about the peninsula, the landmass that is surrounded by water by 3 sides. Okay, so here the Deccan Peninsula protrudes into the Indian Ocean. Can you see, students? The Deccan Plateau extends towards the Indian Ocean. Here we have the Indian Ocean towards the south. Okay. To establish close contact with West Asia, Africa and Europe from the western coast and with Southeast and East Asia from the eastern coast. As the Deccan Peninsula protrudes into the Indian Ocean, students, it is very easy to establish a close contact with West Asia, Africa and Europe from the western coast of our country and with Southeast and East Asia from the eastern coast. Students, have a look at this map. You can easily understand that from the western coast of our country, we can easily have a close contact with West Asia, Europe and Africa. And from the eastern coast, we can have close contact with East Asia. Is that clear, students? I hope it is clear. No other country has a long coastline on the Indian Ocean as India has. Have a look over here. You will understand that no other country has a long coastline on the Indian Ocean as our country India has. India's eminent position in the Indian Ocean, that is very important position in the Indian Ocean, which justifies the naming of an ocean after it. Now I hope you will understand why the Indian Ocean is named so, because of the India's eminent position in the Indian Ocean. Students, now let us learn about the Indira Point. Indira Point is the southernmost point of the Indian territory. It is a village in the Nicobar district at the Great Nicobar Islands of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Students, do you know one interesting fact about Indira Point? Okay, let me tell you. The southernmost point of the Indian Union, Indira Point, got submerged under the sea water in 2004 during the tsunami. So you need to remember this, students. Indira Point got submerged under the sea water in the year 2004 during the tsunami. Let us see the location of the Indira Point, students. Here on this map, you can see the location of the Indira Point. It is located in the Nicobar Islands. Now let us learn about the Suez Canal. Suez Canal is a man-made waterway connecting the Mediterranean Sea to the Indian Ocean via the Red Sea. I will explain with the help of the map. Before that, I just want to inform you something about Suez Canal. Since the opening of the Suez Canal in 1869, India's distance from Europe has been reduced by 7,000 kilometers. Now, just have a look over here, students. You will understand. This is the image of the Suez Canal. Okay. Here you can see the Suez Canal. Okay. This part, it's the man-made waterway connecting the Mediterranean Sea to the Indian Ocean via Red Sea. Is that clear, students? So because of Suez Canal, what happened? The distance between the India and Europe has been reduced by 7,000 kilometers. Students, here on this map you can see, due to Suez Canal, what happened? India's distance from Europe has been reduced. Okay, has been reduced by 7,000 kilometers. Okay, earlier it was not so. The person had to travel long way. Look here, students. But now with the help of Suez Canal, okay, the person can travel in less time. Okay, the distance is reduced by 7,000 kilometers. Is that clear, students? India's contacts with the world have continued through the ages. So students, it is very clear that our country had got a good contact with the other countries of the world, and that has been continued through the ages, that is long back. But her relationships through the land routes, her relationship with the other countries of the world through the land routes are much older than her maritime contacts. Maritime is related to sea. I hope it is clear. The various passes across the mountains in the north have provided passages to the ancient travelers, while the oceans restricted such interaction for a long time. It is very clear, students. The ancient travelers could enter our country with the help of the passes across the mountains in the north, whereas the oceans restricted such interaction for a long time. Students, have a look over here. This image shows the various passes across the mountains in the north. Okay, these passes have provided the passages for the ancient travelers. These routes have contributed in the exchange of ideas and commodities since ancient times. And these routes are considered to be very important because they have contributed not only in the exchange of ideas but also of the commodities since ancient times. The ideas of the Upanishads and the Ramayana, the stories of Panchatantra, the Indian numerals and the decimal system thus could reach many parts of the world. So you can see the image of Upanishads here, the ideas of Upanishads, Ramayana, stories from Panchatantra, the Indian numerals reached many parts of the world. Is that clear, students? The influence of Greek sculpture and the architectural styles of dome and minarets from West Asia can be seen in different parts of our country. Here you can see the image of the dome and minarets. Okay, students. Now let's try to understand the influence of Greek sculpture and the architectural styles of dome and minarets from West Asia can be seen in different parts of our country. So just now we have seen that the ideas of Upanishad, the stories of Panchatantra, Ramayana, Indian numerals, isn't it, reached the other parts of the world? If we have taken some ideas from the other parts of the world, like from West Asia, we had taken the architectural styles of dome and minarets. Is that clear, students? And it is seen in different parts of our country. Now let us learn about the states and the union territories. Okay. India has 29 states and 7 union territories. But as per the recent updates, our country has 28 states and 8 union territories. Now you will ask, Miss, earlier it was 29. How come 28 now? Earlier we had Jammu and Kashmir as one of the state, but now it has been merged with the union territories. So now we have 28 states. Then you will ask, Miss, earlier we had 7 union territories, right? Then how come 8 union territories now? So let us try to understand. Students, first of all, in this map you can see the images of states and union territories. It is given in your textbook as well. Just go through that. Okay. Students, here on this map you can see the union territories. We have Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. These two are the new union territory, students. Okay. And already we had Chandigarh, Daman and Diu, Dadra Nagar Haveli, Lakshadweep, Puducherry, Andaman and Nicobar Islands and Delhi. Now earlier Daman and Diu and Dadra and Nagar Haveli were two different union territories, but now they have been merged together. So in all total we have 8 union territories. Is that clear, students? So as per the new update we have 28 states, okay, and 8 union territories. Now you will have a question, Miss, during exam. If suppose this question is asked about the number of states and the union territories, which one to write? You have to write what is given in your textbook. If you want to add, you can add the new update as well. So first you have to write the one which is given in your textbook, that is 29 states and 7 union territories, and you can add that as per new update. Okay, India has 28 states and 8 union territories. I hope I am clear, student. India shares its land boundaries with Pakistan and Afghanistan in the northwest. Have a look over here. You will understand. Our country shares our land boundary with Pakistan and Afghanistan towards the northwest. Is that clear, students? China, Nepal and Bhutan in the north, and Myanmar and Bangladesh in the east. So our country shares the land boundary, okay, with China, Nepal and Bhutan in the north, and Myanmar and Bangladesh towards the east. Is that clear, students? Our southern neighbors across the sea consist of the two island countries, Sri Lanka and Maldives. So our southern neighbors are Sri Lanka and Maldives. Okay. Sri Lanka is separated from India by a narrow channel of sea formed by the Park Strait and the Gulf of Mannar. So how is Sri Lanka separated from our country, students? Yes, it's separated from India by a narrow channel of sea formed by the Park Strait and the Gulf of Mannar. Here you can see, students, here is the Park Strait and here is the Gulf of Mannar. Okay, and Sri Lanka and India is separated due to Park Strait and Gulf of Mannar. Is that clear, students? Maldives Islands are situated to the south of the Lakshadweep Islands. So where are Maldives Islands situated? Yes, to the south of the Lakshadweep. Here is Lakshadweep, right? Here are the Lakshadweep Islands, and Maldives is situated to the south of Lakshadweep Islands. Is that clear, students? India has strong geographical and historical links with our neighbors. Till now, we have seen neighbors of our country, right? Towards the northwest, towards the north, towards the east, as well as towards the south. And India has strong geographical as well as historical links with her neighbors. I hope it is clear, students. Students, just look at this map. Based on this map, I would like to ask few questions. In your exam also, you will have map observation wherein you need to observe the map and answer the questions given below. You will have options as well. You need to click on the correct option. Let me ask few questions based on this map. Can you tell me the westernmost state of our country? Now you will say, Miss, there are other states as well which are found in the western part of our country. But my question is westernmost state. Yes, westernmost state is Gujarat. Okay, very good. Now the next question. Name the water body towards the south of our country. Towards the south, we have Indian Ocean. Very good. Name the water body towards the southwest of our country. Southwest, yes, this side. It is Arabian Sea. Can you name the water body towards the southeast of our country? Yes, it is Bay of Bengal. So I hope it is clear, students. So map will be given, and based on the map you will have questions. You will have options as well. You need to click on the correct option. Now here is the new type of question introduced for 9th and 10th standard. It is assertion and reason. So you need to understand how to solve this. It is very simple, students. Okay, first I'll read out the question. You will understand. Assertion. Assertion means positive statement. The Tropic of Cancer divides the country into almost two equal parts. Now just tell me, is this sentence correct one? Yes, of course. The Tropic of Cancer divides the country into almost two equal parts. So assertion is right. Now let us read the reason. India shares its land boundaries with Myanmar and Bangladesh in the east. First tell me whether this statement is right. India shares its land boundaries with Myanmar and Bangladesh in the east. Yes, it is right. So assertion and reason both are right. But now just tell me whether the reason given, that is India shares its land boundaries with Myanmar and Bangladesh in the east, is the reason for the assertion statement given, that is the Tropic of Cancer divides the country into almost two equal parts? No, not at all. They both are not linked to each other, right? Reason given is not the reason for the assertion given here. So now let us look at the options given. Both assertion and reason are true, and reason is the correct explanation of assertion. Is that so, students? Let us move on to option B. Both assertion and reason are true, but reason is not the correct explanation of assertion. Option C. Assertion is correct but reason is wrong. Option D. Assertion is wrong but reason is correct. Yes, students, which one you will click? Which is the correct option? Yes, the B one. Both A, that is assertion, and reason are true, but reason is not the correct explanation of assertion. So the correct option is B. I hope it is clear. Students, one more question. Be ready to give the answer. The question given is assertion. To the southwest of India lies the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Is it correct sentence, students? Does the Andaman and Nicobar Islands lie towards the southwest of India? No, towards the southeast, right? So this statement is wrong. So assertion given is wrong, okay? Reason given is the Indian landmass has a central location between the East and the West Asia. First tell me, is this sentence correct? Is the reason given is correct? The Indian landmass has a central location between the East and West Asia. Yes, this statement is true. But just tell me whether this is the reason for the assertion given. That is, to the southwest of India lies the Andaman and Nicobar Islands? No. Okay, so let us see the options and try to find out the correct option. Both assertion and reason are true, and reason is a correct explanation of assertion. Option B. Both assertion and reason are true, but reason is not the correct explanation of assertion. Option C. Assertion is correct, but reason is wrong. Option D. Assertion is wrong, but reason is correct. Yes, students? Tell me the answer. Yes, it's option D. Assertion is wrong, but reason is correct. I hope you are thorough with this, students. Yes, so we have done with the lesson 1. We have revised all the topics well. Okay, so now it's time for you to just go through the topics covered in this lesson once again. Read the textbook well, and all the best for your exam.